The #1 anime, gaming, and Dragon Ball channel on YouTube proudly presents to you the top 5 reasons you should not buy Dragon Ball FighterZ. Let's get into it. Number 1, the game has a terrible story mode, and this is a bit of a spoiler. So in this entire story mode, and I feel like everyone will agree with me when I say this, it was completely ripped off of Majin Buu, or Super Buu rather, from the Majin Buu arc. They basically just took him out, put 21 in his place, and that's what they went with this whole story. Her wanting to eat people. That's literally all it is. So you can kind of see why Super Buu didn't show up in this game, because it would be far too obvious that Majin 21 is nothing but oh well, what if Super Buu was a hot chick? That's basically all this is. What is with Dragon Ball and creating Rule 63 versions of already popular characters? Like, that's been really big. They've tried and failed with Broly, and then they come up with this BS story and they fail with it. Like, and a lot of people in the community have already come up and have said that someone at Arc System Works has some kind of weird vor fetish, and if you don't know what vor is, it's about fantasizing about being eaten or eating other people. And a lot of 21's dialogue comes from a weird fetish type place, like, oh, I want to eat everyone, you're gonna taste so good and be in my belly. Like, that's literally what she says, and it's really disgusting. Like, I still like 21 because she does look hot and she does look thick, and hey, spoilers for this video, she does show up again for this list. But this story makes you think that Tomoko Hiroki, the producer of this game, deserves to be fired. This story is in no way original, creative, anything. It is worse than anything. Like, you know, Dragon Ball, the Xenoverse series, they sort of, you know, find creative ways to redo the story. This story mode for Dragon Ball FighterZ is worse. 100%. It is BS, bull crap. If you were buying this game because you thought you were going to have a creative and thought-provoking Dragon Ball game experience, don't buy it. It's not worth it. Just keep your money. Go buy Monster Hunter, go buy another copy of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, but stay far, far away from this. Number 2, Android 21's voice, sub or dub, are horrible. Both of them are horrible, and I can see why they really didn't want to play the voice clips for her. They were really kind of straying away. I can see why they didn't really want to play her dub voice clips. They were really being, you know, trying to cover that up until they just couldn't cover it anymore. But the voices, especially the dub is horrible. 21's voice is horrible in dub. And again, I take no pleasure in insulting someone's voice work, but my God, it's like Arc System Works found a way to ruin their sex appeal character. They actually found a way to ruin the sex appeal. I mean, she's still hot. Majin 21 and regular 21 are still hot, but they're those kind of girls that, you know, like, they look so fine, they look so good, you're wondering what's the catch, and then you talk to them and that's what the catch is. Their voices are trash. It's like, it's really grating and annoying. It's like, imagine having a really hot girl, like, she's like, I don't know, Christy Mack fine, but then she has Linda from Bob's Burgers voice. That's how bad Android 21's voice is. They just said, you know what, how can we make her sound like a hentai girl? And they turned it up times 100. Like, I'm saying, normal hentai chicks do not sound this awful. They don't. I promise you they don't. But it's just like, I don't know what the direction was with this character. She's supposed to be an astute intellectual scientist, you know, a android, and they just pushed her into that weird schoolgirl, hyped up on sugared cereals range. I just don't like it. And when you hear all of her voice lines, a lot of people have stated this about 21, is that she has this weird, someone at Arc System Works, everyone has said this, that someone at Arc System Works has a weird vor fetish. And judging from 21's dialogue and how she acts out these lines in dub, that's not too far from the truth. Like, everything is, I want to eat everyone and have them in my belly. Oh my god. And if you don't know what vor is basically about fantasizing about being eaten or eating other people. That's what vor is, and that's the entire story of 21 in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So the voice, again, is completely horrible, is completely trash, and if you thought you were going to enjoy 21, you might just want to stick to the fan service and just imagine her with Toa's voice or something. I don't know, but her voice is trash. Number 3, the DLC roster is horrible. Now, a lot of people have data mined the game, and it's come out that it is true. Base Form Goku and Scouter Vegeta, or Base Form Vegeta, are DLC. And we haven't heard anything about Broly or Bardock, but assuming that half of the rumors have been confirmed as true, I wouldn't doubt the fact that Broly and Bardock are going to be DLC. And this is horrible because people thought they were going to get some people from Dragon Ball Super and are actually giving you characters that have been in the base games of Dragon Ball games for over 20 years now. Like, Broly has been in every Dragon Ball game, base roster, on the PS2, PS3, PS4, and you never had to pay for him, but now you're going to have to pay DLC for him. And how in the blue hell did Goku and Vegeta base forms end up being DLC in a goddamn Dragon Ball game for 2018? Like, what the hell? It's terrible. It's asinine. Tomoko Hiroki, you deserve to be fired. Bandai Namco should never hire you for another damn project. You are horrible, madam. You are oh my god, you are the bane of the Dragon Ball existence for 2018. You have created the worst Dragon Ball game since Dragon Ball Connect. How in the hell do you feel vindicated to have base form Goku and base form Vegeta as DLC in any Dragon Ball game? It's horrible. Now, what that leaves for the part 2 of the roster is that you know they're going to give you Vegito, you know they're going to come in with few Zamas, and nothing matters. Nothing matters because it's not going to be current. It's not going to be anything from the current Tournament of Power arc, and this is their fault. This is their fault. Characters like Broly, characters like base form Goku and base form Vegeta should have been in the base game. That's what it should have been. But thanks to the horrible direction given by Tomoko Hiroki, that's just not the case. So if you thought the DLC for Dragon Ball FighterZ was going to be good, you might want to turn the other way. Number 4, and we've spoken about this before, the auto combos and the gameplay is trash. People who were trying to defend this game by saying, oh, it's just a beta, it's, testing things might be completely different in the final product. Once again, for the 1000th time, they are wrong. The gameplay is simplistic. The gameplay rewards one-button combos. Like, yeah, you do more damage doing 2 buttons, but it's not by too much. You still get decent damage that can win you a match just by tapping 1 button. So people who are trying to say that the game is more complex and more, requires more skill than something of a Xenoverse, you are wrong. This game is complete trash. It is easy to abuse every single thing in this game, because again, you know, by the nature of the game being 2D and not having the ability to sidestep or move out the way of certain things, you're trapped in certain spam. One button combos work, so you can waste your time learning multi-button combos that won't net you too much of an advantage over a person pressing one button. So the learning curve is ridiculously small, and it doesn't reward learning, you know, this game beyond the first couple of hours of gameplay. It's just knowing what to abuse, when to abuse it, knowing when your opponent is vulnerable so you can rush in and abuse what you need to abuse quite quickly and get in and get out. That's why, like I've said, I'm not really interested in this game, but if my fans and my haters want to see me participate in this sideshow of a failure of a Dragon Ball game, you know, the Patreon challenge is still open. And number 5, the game's lifespan will roughly be 3 months. There's nothing that really keeps you coming back for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Once you get those 3 story mode endings and once you played a couple of hundred matches online, there's nothing that really keeps you coming back for the gaming experience that is supposedly Dragon Ball FighterZ. There's not enough content. There's only 2 true game modes. The story mode is complete and utter crap and is a ripoff of a pre-existing Dragon Ball story in the original anime. So what is there to keep you coming back for that experience? Sure, people will go to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, get their ass whipped, and tell people to see me on FighterZ because supposedly it's a 2D game and it takes more skill, even though the auto combo experience ruins any semblance of skill. The FGC scene doesn't really look too good because most people will watch them in other games. People will watch them in Injustice, they'll watch them in Tekken, they'll watch them in Mortal Kombat and other fighters like BlazBlue, but what's the point of watching them in Dragon Ball FighterZ when the skill curve is so small and indistinguishable? Once you learn how to abuse certain things, there's nothing really else to learn about this game. All you have to do is watch your opponent and look for vulnerable frames and know when to attack. Or you can go the spamming route. So there's only 2 true fighting styles or fighting mechanics to learn in this game. The game is horrible and it's a wasted year for Dragon Ball games, and that's why I've said 3 months. You'll play 3 months and then you'll see if the first DLC brings you back, which it won't because it doesn't have any new content that really makes you want to come back. I mean, hell, base form Goku and base form Vegeta and potentially Broly and Bardock are characters that we've had in Dragon Ball games time and time again. Hell, we have them right now in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, they could have done something interesting like have God Broly, but no, because Tomoko Hiroki doesn't have a creative bone in her goddamn body, she didn't have the foresight to include new and interesting characters in a new Dragon Ball game. So the 2018 year for Dragon Ball games, at least from the new intellectual property that is Dragon Ball FighterZ, is another failed Dragon Ball gaming year. Thank God for Xenoverse 2 continuing to produce content, because at least they have the common sense to include the new content from Dragon Ball Super, unlike Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is relying on a retro, oh my god, it's old, therefore it's new mentality. Please, Tomoko Hiroki, stay away from Dragon Ball games. You are a failed producer, and you should feel completely ashamed that you felt validated and vindicated to release such a trash Dragon Ball game. This is me, if I had Dragon Ball FighterZ, putting it in the trash bag. It's trash. It's trash. That's what it is. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell to get all the new content updates for the #1 anime, gaming, and Dragon Ball channel on YouTube. Yes, the name is Perfection, and I will see you in the next video.